This guy, David, what's his name? Leonhardt?
Yeah, I don't know how you pronounce it.
Did you read this?
New York Times
Leonhardt?
guy?
Yeah. So,
His people said he's not available.
oh, is that true?
Yeah.
That's a shame. So, so this guy writes a story called "The Vaccine Road Trip" for the New York Times. Good morning. The Biden administration. Good morning. The Biden administration has a huge amount of work to do to get the virus under control. I took a 1,600-mile road trip this week that left me even more amazed at how poorly the United States has handled the coronavirus, and more worried about how much work the Biden administration has to do to get it under control. I want to tell you that story this morning.
Oh, good.
I'd like to hear it.
That's what we thought when we clicked on the article. We assumed you'd tell us.
I live in the Washington, D.C. area where the vaccine rollout has been even slower than most places. My mom, who's 75, and has been living with my family for the last few months, is one of the people trying to figure out how to get a shot. It felt impossible. Fortunately, she had an alternative. She normally lives in Colorado, a state with a somewhat better vaccine rollout. By checking repeatedly online, she got an appointment in Colorado. So again, this is a guy, keep in mind, he's wagging his finger at how the Americans are handling the coronavirus thing and how, how shaky they've been and how reckless they've been. So the two of us got in a car and spent a couple of days driving west. My sister lives in Denver, drove east, and we met halfway in St. Louis. I then drove back to Washington, and my sister and my mom drove to Denver. We were all grateful that she's about to receive her first shot. So this guy is bitching while he's doing a cross-country drive.
Yes, he's trying to exploit the vaccine distribution system. It's
Right,
like vaccine
stealing it.
tourism, yes.
So he did his drive, and he said, but I came home from my trip shaken by what I had seen. So he got back in the house, and his wife was like, Dave, you okay? What's going on? So did you heat your cars? There's a chill wind in the air. I can't. Blankets, soup, slippers, many slippers, lots of blankets. I'm shaken by what I've seen. David, my God, what happened? Did you see men murdered? Did you see fire? What did you see? Did you see death? No. At a gas station in Indiana, there was a sign on the door saying that people had to wear masks, and they ignored the sign. My God, David, you're blue. Code blue, you're frozen. He's frozen. Children, he's frozen to death. What?
Icicles forming on his chin.
But I came from my trip shaken by what I had seen. I can't talk about this.
Have you seen a ghost, David? Him and Dale Arnold are shaking.
Where's Simon? Susan, I haven't told you the worst part yet. In Fairfield, in Ohio, a middle-aged couple sat unmasked on a lobby sofa for hours, drinking beers and scrolling through their phones. The hotel staff evidently did nothing about it. So, a couple of levels. Top shelf reporter this guy is. The hotel staff evidently did nothing about it, so he didn't ask. And I'm to believe that, first of all, we don't know which Fairfield did. We don't know the name of this couple. By him saying they sat at the lobby sofa for hours drinking beers and scrolling through their phones, that means he had to sit there and watch them the entire time, right?
Yes.
All right, it's been about 2 hours. I guess I'll get out of here.
Because I'm thinking he went upstairs or whatever. And first of all, if you're that scared, if you're that shaken and scared of this, you do what Steve and I do when we go on the road for these trips. You wear your mask, you check into your room, you go up and you stay in your room. Now, Steve rolls down his pajamas and picks up his fucking food, but you go in your room. Dave, I guess, just sits there evidently and stares at these people drinking beers, which it's two people on a fucking sofa at Fairfield Inn. Leave them alone.
And by the way, if you're drinking or eating, you're allowed to take your mask down. Like, or is he supposed to have cut a hole in the mask and have a straw to sip their beer?
But
Maybe he was immobilized by fear. That's why he
true.
stayed there and watched.
Sir, are you okay? Crank up the heat.
Great mother of God.
I mean,
Look. The other guy freezes there.
They're drinking beer. First of all, do you believe that happened?
No.
Neither do I. And
He might have seen some people not
for
wearing
him to do his
masks.
job accurately, he can't go upstairs and then come back and they're still there. You think, for all he knows, they've been gone for an hour. That's just bullshit.
But the essence of it is true.
Right, they're hanging around.
But it gets worse. You think that's bad. At a convenience store in Indiana, a hand-drawn sign on the door read, "Face masks are required. Please don't enter without one."
What's wrong?
Customers did anyway.
Oh, no.
Gasp.
Well, listen, the hand-drawn really creates an imagery.
It's almost
like,
like,
oh,
it's almost like it didn't happen. Wait a second. Oh, is that the chill wind I hear, Mike?
Just a turnstile of people coming in and out.
I just love the idea of like the wife is asleep, the kids are up like asleep, and Dave just slams the door. He's done with his trip and he's just shaking his way to the house. He just collapses,
Pours himself a big scotch.
calls it a night. Shaking.
He faints. David, what did you see out there?
We were in South Carolina in the fucking mountains. You go to the supermarkets, everyone has a mask on. It's true. Everyone at Ingles had a mask on.
Everyone at Ingles, not that little gas station we stopped at.
I'm
there were some
surprised by
maskless
that.
people.
Yeah,
around
one
there.
guy didn't have a mask on, but like most people have masks on.
Yeah.
I don't believe this story at all. I just don't believe it. It's fucking bullshit. He wrote it because he wants to get. It makes it seem like he's getting some point across. I don't know what.
Well, he's virtuous because he unlike the rubes in Middle America, he cares about coronavirus.
Well, then why did he drive?
No shit, because he cares
1,600 miles?
about his grandmother more.
His mother.
Yes, mother.
Yeah, his stupid mother. He cares about her more.
Those low-class idiots that have the gall to have a meal outside.
Yeah, have a job.
Meanwhile,
Trying to make a living.
She's gonna get the vaccine and have an adverse reaction to it.
I don't know.
He probably just killed his mother.
That's maybe true. He'll be shaken then. But I mean, I hope she's fine. I'm sure she's lovely.
I had glimpses of those boys drinking beers and said if only they had stayed inside.
It's a quiet night tonight in Dave's, wherever he lives. In D.C., is it? Is that what it is?
I think so. DC or New York.
They're both asleep, sound asleep, and all of a sudden, just, Fairfield Inn! Fairfield Inn!
David, what's wrong?
Miller Lite! No! You weren't there, Susan! David, I want you to be the man you were before this trip. It's too late, damn it! It's too late.
I'm leaving, David. I'm taking the kids.
Fine, go! I don't care! I'm going back on the road!
But for the love of God, keep your masks on.
The sign was hand-drawn, Susan! And yet they didn't wear masks anyway, so go! Go! Go!
David, I just remember who you were before this.
That man is dead. Oh my God. I love it. I love stories like that. I love him. And he won't come on ever, right?
The New York Times PR department said he's not able to grant our request.